You will never feel ready. If you're a beginner content creator and everything feels overwhelming and difficult right now, the writing, the recording, the editing, the algorithm, all of it, then you landed on the right video, because in this video, I'm giving you 5 content tips that will help you improve instantly. Practical ones, beginner-friendly ones, things you can actually start using today. And tip number 4 is one most beginner content creators completely overlook, and the bonus tip at the end, that one might be the most important thing I say in this entire video. So let's get into it. And tip number 1 is stop consuming, start creating. And this is something that I lived in for a long time, and maybe you're living in it right now. You sit down to work on your channel, and instead of writing, recording, or editing, doing the tangible and practical actions, moving your channel forward, you find yourself distracted watching yet another YouTube tutorial, another growth strategy breakdown, another things I need to know before starting YouTube video. And you tell yourself you're being productive, that you're learning, that you're getting closer. But here's what's happening. Your brain is a sponge, and every tutorial fills that sponge with more information, more knowledge, more insights. But if you never squeeze that sponge into creative action, it just gets heavier, more overloaded, until the weight of everything you know becomes the very thing stopping you from doing anything. That's when consuming stops being preparation and becomes a hiding place, a comfortable one, safe from the discomfort of writing, safe from the vulnerability of recording, safe from the uncertainties of what happens when you actually upload a video. If you are to watch a tutorial, it is to get answers to a specific issue, problem, obstacle that's keeping you from moving in that moment. But if you're watching tutorials about specific problems or obstacles or issues that you haven't arrived at yet, it's not worth spending time on. One tutorial, one action, apply immediately, and then move. And over to tip number 2, your thoughts are not real. And let me ask you something. How many times have a thought stopped you from moving forward on your YouTube journey? Not a practical problem, not a technical issue, just a thought. And not always a small one either. Sometimes it's not about a specific task. Sometimes it's the whole thing, your entire journey. Why am I even doing this? Who is this for? What if I pour everything into this and nothing comes out of it? That kind of doubt doesn't just slow you down. It makes the whole entire journey feel pointless before it's even begun. But here's what I want you to understand about those thoughts. They feel like facts. Like your brain is doing you a favor, warning you, protecting you from wasting your time, from embarrassing yourself, from building something nobody cares about. But what they actually are is your brain reacting to uncertainties, to the unknown. And your brain treats uncertainty like danger. Same urgency, same heaviness, same feeling of maybe I should stop. But there is no real danger. There's just you and something worth building. When those thoughts show up, and they will, don't fight them. Don't argue with them. Just notice them, label them, and keep working anyway. Because here's my YouTube advice for beginners who really struggle with this. The thoughts are allowed to be there. You just don't have to let it take the steering wheel. And over to tip number 3, and that is something that I call do the daily difficult. And here's what it means. Whatever feels the most scariest or difficult for you right now, if it's writing scripts, recording yourself, editing, showing up consistently, whatever it is, that's the exact thing you need to start practicing on. And not once a week when you feel ready, but every single day. And I know it sounds harsh, but here's why it works. The things we avoid don't become easier by avoiding them. They grow, they become heavier, and we risk them becoming these enormous walls that we keep circling around instead of walking through. But when you face them daily, something shifts. The wall starts to shrink. Not overnight, not dramatically, but they will shrink. And one day you sit down and write a script or record yourself and you realize it doesn't feel the same way as it used to. That's not talent, that's repetition. That's the daily difficult doing its job. So identify your hardest thing, the thing you struggle with, and start doing it today. Not tomorrow, but today. And tip number 4 is simplify, simplify, simplify. Let's talk about something nobody really prepares you for when you decide to start a YouTube channel. It's big. It's really big. And it's not just hitting record and uploading. It's And it's not just hitting record and uploading, it's writing scripts, finding your niche, designing thumbnails, understanding SEO, writing descriptions, crafting titles, learning to edit, building consistency, studying analytics, understanding the YouTube algorithm. And when you see all of that at once, when the full picture of what this actually involves lands on you, it's overwhelming, genuinely overwhelming. And overwhelm has a way of making even the most motivated person go quiet, pull back, disconnect from the whole YouTube journey entirely. That's when most beginners get discouraged. Not because they can't do it, but because they're trying to swallow it whole. And a wise man once said, "How do you eat an elephant?" And the answer to that is one bite at a time. Meaning your YouTube channel is your elephant. And you cannot swallow it whole. Nobody can. So break it down. One big task, broken down into smaller tasks, and build momentum slowly, one bite at a time. One thing done well beats 10 things done badly every single time. Simplify, simplify, and then simplify again. And over to tip number 5, which is just hit upload. And this is the one I want you to hear the most, so I'm going to say it plainly. You will never feel ready. And I promise you that. You will rewatch your first video 17 times and you will find 17 things wrong with it. Your script could always be tighter, your lighting could always be better, your delivery could always be smoother. But if you wait until all of that is perfect, you will never hit upload. Not your first video, not your 10th, not ever. Here's what my top YouTube advice for beginner content creators comes down to at the end of the day. The journey on YouTube doesn't start when you're ready. It starts when you upload. When you decide when done is better than perfect. When you stop waiting for the conditions to be right and just let the video exist in the world. That's when everything begins, not before. So when the day finally comes and the video is there, and the voice inside your head starts listing all the reasons why you should wait, silence that voice and just hit upload. And over to the bonus tip. The road without direction is the road. And I promised you this one would matter, so stay with me for just another minute. A lot of beginner YouTubers, and this is some of the most honest YouTube advice I could give, spend so much time looking for direction from other creators that they forget something important. The road they are trying to build, nobody else has walked it. Not exactly. Not the way you will. And because of that, the road feels directionless right now. There are more questions than answers, more uncertainty than clarity. And I think we forget that this isn't a sign we're lost. We're actually on the road. You haven't arrived to the answers yet because you haven't created the experience that leads to them. That experience only comes from uploading, from writing your next script, from recording again after the last one felt awful. We can't build our own road from someone else's footprints. We can learn from them, yes, but the road itself, that has to be yours. So if you're feeling lost right now, if the direction feels unclear and the question feels endless, good. That's not confusion. That's what being on the road is all about. So stay the course. The road is being built beneath your feet.